Hello everybody and welcome to Daytona for the running of the Daytona 500 here in 2008. Now, crazy things have happened here in NASCAR. Nextel just got bought out by Sprint, so now instead of it being the NASCAR Nextel Cup Series, it is the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series. As you can see right there by the Sprint bow tie. It's also the 60th anniversary of NASCAR, and the chase has got a little crazy. NASCAR and Sprint got together. Sprint said they wanted, as we were hearing the command, and there's the command to fire engines. As NASCAR and Sprint got together and said that they wanted to change things. They wanted to make the chase more exciting for the fans. So now you win and you're in. Win a race during the season, you're in the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series chase. 16 drivers are eligible. It's on the pole to the Daytona 500. Greg Biffle, beside him Kyle Busch. Then it's Jeff Gordon, Kevin Harvick, Jimmy Johnson, last year's champion, Casey Kane. And you have Carl Edwards, Tony Stewart. Stewart moves to Stewart in the Gibbs Toyota. You can see Kyle Busch moved to Gibbs. He was the Hendrick's young gun as Junior moves into the Hendrick Chevrolet. You have David Reagan, Brian Vickers in the Red Bull Toyota. Red Bull did not have a great season last season, but hopefully they have a good season this season. As the green flag is out and we are underway here at Daytona. As it looks like the 66 of Scott Riggs is already in pit road, possibly a problem on the state water heater Chevrolet. As right now it's a dogfight for the lead as it's Biffle and Busch. You got the three Hendrick cars on the bottom lined up. Jeff Gordon, Junior, and Jimmy all lined up here on the bottom line. So here comes Junior getting a shove from Brian Vickers in the Red Bull Toyota. You've seen a little bit of this car last season. It was a great car. Kyle Busch won at Bristol. Didn't really like the car that much, but as you can see, NASCAR has worked on everything and tried to get this car to be the best car in the series. And it looks like, yes, Riggs might be done for the day here. And that's 66 State Water Heaters car, but Gordon to the lead with teammate help from Dale Jr. Vickers pushing Junior, and it's the two energy drinks going to the front, Red Bull and Amp. There's Jeff Burton in the 31 car, Matt Kenseth. There's a 28, Travis Quapple, Mark Martin in the 8, Newman in the 12, Kurt Busch in the 2. There comes Casey Mears in the 5. Casey Mears took over the 5 car from Kyle Busch. David Reagan in the 6. There's Hamlin, Menard, Gilliland, Truex running for DEI. It's weird seeing DEI without Dale Jr. Sadler, Rudeman, Rookie of the Year contender. Sorensen, Robbie Gordon, Regan Smith, Sam Hornish Jr., Bobby Labonte, Montoya. There's AJ Allmendinger, the other Red Bull Toyota. There's Michael Waltrip biding his time. There's Michael McDowell, rookie. Actually, Rudeman's not a rookie. He raced last season. Sorry, I got that confused. But there's McDowell. There's Nemechek, Blaney, Patrick Carpentier, and Bill Elliott in the 21. And there's Kyle Petty in the 45, really off the pace. And then there's also another rookie, Dario Franchitti, really off the pace. As we're going back to the front, Jeff Burton taking the lead with help from Kenseth. These 41 cars have made a lap. Scott Riggs did not make a lap, and he's not even on the track right now. So Riggs is behind the wall. Unless it didn't have something set up right on that race car. His new leader goes to Travis Quapple in the 28. Getting a shove from Mark Martin. And there's Martin's teammate behind him a little bit, Paul Menard, in the DEI 15. Last season, in 2007. That 8 car was not a good car. Junior was very vocal about it. He did not make the chase for, I believe, the second time last season. Didn't make it in 05. It was one of his abysmal seasons. This is also why NASCAR made this new chase format. Gordon and Junior did make the chase. They've not made the chase twice. Junior didn't make it in 05 and 07. I believe Gordon didn't make it in 05 as well. I might be mistaken on that stat. Actually, I think Gordon did make it in 05, so... I know Gordon did not make the chase 1 year. That's another reason why NASCAR decided, hey, let's do this. Make sure all the top guys are in. You win a race, you're a top guy, and you deserve to be in a championship hunt. It's Kurt Busch to the lead in this brand new Dodge Avenger. Held in the 7 of Robbie Gordon blowing up. Tough break for Robbie Gordon. Lap 6 and the 7 car is blowing up. And we got a train of cars back here. You're just riding around. Truex is back in the pack, but Sadler, McMurray, Labonte, Montoya, McDowell, Carpentier, Regan Smith, Sam Hornish, Allmendinger, Michael Waltrip, Dave Blaney, Joe Nemechek, Kyle Petty, and Dario Franchitti. All right now, just riding around. This new leader goes to Casey Mears, and here comes the Quaker State Chevrolet of Paul Menard. I think it's a Realtree camouflage on that Menard car. It is. And you can see from this angle how far these other guys are behind the lead pack. Menard leads. Gillen might take the lead pretty soon. Looks like all the Hinder cars are still right up here. Junior still there. So is Gordon. There's Jimmy on the very bottom. Mears. Gillen to the lead. Over RCR. Nope. Jeff Burton on the top side is getting some good runs up there. It's not letting that lead go away without battle. And here comes Ruderman with Sorensen and Clint Boyer and Denny Hamlin pushing. And David Ruderman's going to lead a lap in the Daytona 500 for Jeff Burton. Reed Sorensen now going to try to get up here. It's a Chevrolet Toyota Dodge battle. I think Clint Boyer is just going to try to push Ruderman, or try to push Reed Sorensen to the front. You can see how that Hendrick line up there, the 24, the 5, and the 88 are pushing this 31. Jeff Burton going to go to the middle lane. That's going to probably let Reed Sorensen lead this lap. Nope, Jeff Burton got it. Burton got the lap led. And now the 07 and the 11 are dropping the 41, saying, yeah, you might not have been the best car to push up to the front. This Boyer now goes to the lead with a big push from Denny Hamlin. Boyer now to the middle. Ooh. Ryan Newman making a crazy move. 4 wide. 4 wide with Reed Sorensen. Newman had to make a move. And he's clear. Newman made a crazy move to get behind Clint Boyer. You see, this back group has now all formed up. But is this back group running down the main group? I don't think so. And what went right on Robbie Gordon's car? The clutch went out. On the 7. We're going to see if this secondary group is catching the main pack. They were over 5 seconds back. And no, they're losing time, actually. You're still in the pack, but you're losing time. And Dario Franchitti, his first ever Super Speedway race. He's raced in Indy cars and stuff. First ever Sprint Cup Series race. You can tell he's way off the pace compared to Carl Edwards, who's in the lead. There's Elliott Sadler. And what happened to Jeff Burton? And the Burton in the Hendrick line has now got Truex, Johnson, Edwards, and Denny Hamlin in it. I think out of that crazy booba dooba, it shook up all the cars. It shook everybody up. And basically when it shook everybody up, it made cars drop to the back, and it looks like now Biffle going to go to the lead with help from Vickers and Kurt Busch. Actually, never mind. Just think Sadler's still going to hold it down here. Biffle got a good run though on Sadler. Biffle get a good run on Sadler, but it's going to be Carl Edwards leading that lap. That outside lane is really good. Look at Carl Edwards get a huge shove from Johnson, dropping all the way to the middle groove as Jimmy just shoved him. Let's go right on board with Dale Earnhardt Jr. The 88 cars. He's in the back of this lead pack. Let's ride on board with him. We're 3 by 3 by 3 by 3 all the way around this racetrack. Looks like Mears might have got the wall. Started rim riding that top. That's Hernandez Jr. pumped off the gas. Actually, where did Jeff Gordon go? Where is Gordon at? There's Gordon. He's right behind Junior. You can see that both the out of the 19 running their McDonald's paint schemes. Both of them are in the middle groove, so McDonald's getting double the loving here at Daytona. That's Brian Vickers to the lead. Maybe not for long, because it looks like Quapple and Kenseth have got a good run going. Vickers thought about throwing the block. And the Red Bull Toyota. That's Quapple getting shoved down the front straightaway by Matt Kenseth. His pit stops are coming soon. You can see some guys laying way back. Montoya. Looks like we talked about him. Former F1 champion, IndyCar, Indy 500 champion. He raced in IndyCar and kart, and he also raced in Formula 1. And now here's his shot on the big stage, the Sprint Cup. But he's currently in that second pack with Petty. With a lot of young guys are back here. Allmendinger, McMurray, Patrick Carpentier, Michael McDowell, And it looks like Bill Elliott's coming to pit road. I don't know if anyone in the main pack came in, but it looks like Elliott is in the pits. And there's Dario Franchitti. So it looks like Bill Elliott's the first car to come get some tires. And fuel is Tony Stewart down to the lead of the Daytona 500. Nope, Vickers going to hold it up on the top. And it looks like the top is starting to get dominant again. Now you get the Roush cars with Jimmy Johnson up there, and then you got Gordon back here. There's Harvick on the bottom, and pit stops. Ooh, I heard a car go around. It's Kurt Busch. Oh, Junior is involved. Junior locking the brakes. Ooh, and a lot of cars go flying by here. Oh, Montoya. Sam Hornish involved. Denny Hamlin's got some damage. David Ruderman with damage. Some cars did pit. I don't know if Junior got any damage in that or not. I don't know. We're going to go take a look at what brought out this caution here at lap 19. Look like green flag pit stops at its finest, and Junior had to lock it up. And Junior almost got took out. Looks like it took place on up here. Maybe Ruderman? Actually, no. It looked like it was the... Oh, it was Jeff Gordon. Jeff Gordon gets turned by Kurt Busch. Watch it from Denny Hamlin. Just gets... Yep, Gordon gets a little tap. Ooh. David Reagan involved. Warrior. There's Jeff Burton. Jeff Burton actually had a lot of damage before Montoya got a piece of it. Oof. Montoya's involved. Sam Hornish. Man, I don't know. That was crazy. All this took place. Let's see if Dale Jr. has any bad damage out of this. He locked up the tires, but pit stops were about to happen anyway. And this is right on board, so Jr. saw. I think Jeff was going to stay out, and Kurt was coming in, and just the 19 got a touch. Actually, Will Jr. getting the back of the 44 and the 2. Just locks him up. As it looks like Junior's in 4th place out of pit road. And you can see some cars have some big time damage. Oh, and it looks like Greg Biffle has an ignition failure. A guy who was who was up front this race, not dominant, but really up front, had an ignition failure. He came in the pits 5th. Man, Biffle was 2nd actually. Was running in 2nd. And it looked like it says the ignition went out on him. That was a tough break. You can see Dario Franchitti. And there comes Junior, Patrick Carpentier, and Jamie McMurray in. Who's the leader? It's Tony Stewart. So I don't know if Stewart hit. Yeah, Stewart came. Yeah, Stewart was one of the cars that came in. When did the caution come out? So yeah, Stewart's good. As you can see, Dario's car's it's not bad damage, but It's damaged. Pretty good. And now to get to the front with under 10 to go, you gotta pass a ton of cars. If you're Junior, if you're Boyer, if you're McMurray, you gotta pass a ton of race cars. We're gonna get you to the green flag here. Tony Stewart leads the Daytona 500 over Harvick and Jamie McMurray, or Harvick and Travis Kvapil. Make sure nobody else has a big problem. 41 cars. Jeff Burton retired, and Dario Franchitti also retired, so out of the race. Greg Biffle had an ignition failure on the number 16 car. So there's Kurt Busch, 37th. Junior sitting in 33rd. So I don't know how that happened. Looks like somebody had a bent wing. A rear wing was bent. It might have been Kurt. No, it's Boyer. Boyer's got a bent rear wing. That does not look good. So green flag's out. We're underway again at Daytona. Now it's to see who can get to the win. Who can win here at Daytona? Went 20 laps caution free. You could see now the 88 going to be in the back trying to make moves. There's his Hendrick teammate, the 24. I don't know, he's got bad damage. Actually, Johnson's back here too. All the Hendrick cars right now are deep in the field. Bill Elliott, a guy who came into pit really early, restarted 9th, has dropped like a rock. Bill Elliott is still dropping. He's going to be back there with Junior and those guys pretty soon. Back to the front. Kevin Harvick leads the 2006 Daytona 500 winner. Edged out the guy who's running 4th right now, Mark Martin. Could Mark Martin win the 500? Mark Martin's got a little bit of damage on the door, but you can see where he got a little rub on where somebody rubbed him with a tire. Here comes Kyle Busch. Could Toyota win their first Daytona 500? Can an underdog win like Travis Kvapil or David Gilliland here? '28 to 38. That's Robert Yates Racing. Right now, the 28's got the lead. You can see some cars back here beating and banging a little bit, trying to make some moves. Hoping to get to the front. There's Jimmy Johnson. And there's Dale Jr., 28th. Casey Mears, 29th. Hamlin, 30th. A lot of big names. Kurt Busch is back there in the back. Boyer really slow with that rear wing damaged. It's a vital piece. This aerodynamics. Flagman held up 5 fingers. 5 to go. Harvick throwing a block on Kvapil. Here comes Carl Edwards. Can Carl Edwards win the Daytona 500? Can Matt Kenseth? The Roush gang is here. Actually, there's Allmendinger. And Allmendinger 22nd was a second behind the leaders. And you gotta drop back here to Junior and Gordon. I don't think Junior and Gordon are gaining. They're still 4 seconds off the lead. Running good times, but not good enough times. Junior pulling away, but not enough. It's going to be probably a battle here between the Roush Fords of Kenseth and Edwards. Truex up here. So is Red Bull Racing's Brian Vickers. And here comes the 22. Bill Davis Racing. There's Dave Blaney. And Casey Kane. And Menard. And there's Jimmy Johnson now to the front of the field. And we get the occasional lag spike. Oh, somebody stopped. Bobby the Bonnie was stopped on the racetrack. That was a weird thing. Bobby the Bonnie stopped on the race surface down the back straightaway. No caution for Bobby. We're going to see what it said for Bobby. It hasn't said anything yet. They're looking over the race car. See, he's in pit road now. Must have coasted. But it was stopped for a little bit. Actually, he must have took the access road to pit road. Down the back straightaway, you go through the bus stop and back through the garage that way. But now Vickers is battling with Kenseth and Edwards for the Daytona 500. It's Ford Toyota. And you got two Toyotas on the bottom. There's Paul Menard sitting there. I don't think anybody thought Paul Menard could have a shot at the Daytona 500. Here comes Michael Waltrip and Mark Martin with 2 to go, coming to the white flag. Edwards has got a good lead as Harvick gave Edwards a huge shot. White flag is in the air here at Daytona. Carl Edwards will love to win in the Roush Fenway Ford. Ooh, Kenseth almost got to his teammate, had to let out. Here comes Vickers in the Red Bull Toyota. Vickers is you're gonna have to need more help as Kenseth jumps up to the top. Johnson to the middle. Jimmy trying to make moves. There's now the two Roush Fords shoving each other. That might have helped Matt Kenseth. Kenseth might have helped Carl win the Daytona 500. Through turns 3 and 4, it's going to be a drag race to the line, but Carl Edwards wins the 2008 Daytona 500. And it's a Roush 1-2 here at Daytona. It's a Ford 1-2 as well. The first season with this new car, first season with this new format, Carl Edwards locks himself into the 2008 chase. And I think that's what NASCAR really wanted. They wanted to see excitement. You've seen how Kenseth, who really probably wanted to win the Daytona 500 as well, gave his teammate a huge shove down the back straightaway just to push him ahead as Edwards has won the Daytona 500. Then it's Kenseth, Vickers, Harvick, Blaney, Truex, Stewart, sticky keys, Stewart, Menard, Quapple, Newman, Smith, Johnson, Martin, Gilliland, Waltrip, Bush, Kane, Elliott, I think Nemechek, Sorensen, McDowell, Allmendinger, McMurray Jr., Carpentier, Gordon, Montoya, Mears, Sadler, Kurt Busch, David Reagan, Ruderman, Hamlin, Hornish, Boyer, Petty. Both the 43 and the 45 had clutch issues. That's both Petty Enterprises. And then you had Biffle, Burton, and Franchitti. And then you had the 7 of Robbie Gordon. And the 66 of Scott Riggs did not even make a lap around the speedway today at Daytona. And we seen the 43 was stopped. When did Petty blow his ignition? Or his clutch, actually. It'd be weird if it was the same. So right there's when Petty blew his. Was Labonte already in pit at this time? Yes, he was. Actually, Labonte was right behind his teammate when his clutch went out. We're gonna see it in just a second. Yeah, right in front of Hamlin. It just blew up. And then the next lap, his teammate Kyle Petty, I think in the almost exact same spot right here in turn 1. No, it's gonna be down the back. Yeah, actually it was in turn 2. It just blew up. Oh, Petty Enterprises cars blew up. I don't think Kyle made it back to the pits. Yeah, I think he did actually. He might have stopped here on the apron. Yeah, he did. So, crazy race. So we will see you guys next week from Auto Club as Carl Edwards is celebrating in Gatorade Victory Lane his first ever Daytona 500 victory.